Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So it looks like we get an official end to Google Stadia, and a well-loved game that came out 5 years ago is finally getting a physical release. We have those topics and many more to cover, but before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, and we can keep you up to date with gaming news. Now let's get started. So we've been seeing signs leading up to the end of Google Stadia, and it looks like we have an official announcement here from blog.google. A few years ago, we launched a consumer gaming service, Stadia. And while Stadia's approach to streaming games for consumers was built on a strong technology foundation, it hasn't gained the traction with users that we expected, so we've made the difficult decision to begin winding down our Stadia streaming service. Now you may wonder what that means for the games that you've bought on this service and maybe even the hardware. Well, it looks like Google is going to be doing some mass refunding. We're grateful to the dedicated Stadia players that have been with us from the start. We will begin refunding all Stadia hardware purchases made through the Google Store and all game and add-on content purchases made through the Stadia Store. Players will continue to have access to their games library and play through January 18th, 2023 so they can complete final play sessions. We expect to have the majority of refunds completed by mid-January 2023. We have more details for players on this process on our help center. So if you think you're going to qualify for one of these refunds, you'll want to keep an eye out for directions of how to do so. In Stadia's FAQ, they said they intend to refund via the payment method you used, but let's say you used a gift card, you'll want to watch for information on how that will be handled. It also looks like they're refunding hardware that you purchased through Google, but let's say if you purchased it at Best Buy, you're probably just out of luck. And again, I'm sure more information will be coming out over the coming months. Now, they also said that employees on the Stadia team will be distributed to other parts of the company. They see opportunities to apply Stadia's technology to other parts of Google like YouTube, Google Play, and their augmented reality efforts. They also said that they plan to make the technology from Stadia available to industry partners. So while I think most everybody saw this coming, are you surprised it really shut down as quickly as it did? Next, it looks like a new Need for Speed announcement is coming pretty soon. We have a headline here from InsiderGaming.com, Need for Speed Unbound reveal imminent. Now, I apologize if this actually gets announced before this video goes up, but as it stands of the recording of this video, the article says, as I reported by Xputer earlier this year, it's understood that Need for Speed Unbound will be very multiplayer focused and feature meetups. Meetups will allow people to race against one another in different locations around the map. And again, nothing's been confirmed just yet, but the article did have an update saying sources have confirmed that Need for Speed Unbound will only release on current gen consoles. So it looks like there won't be a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One version. And I'm interested in how this game turns out. I used to be a big fan of the Need for Speed series, but as you take a look here from Wikipedia, the most recent entries haven't done very well. Need for Speed Rivals back on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and I guess that was cross-gen with the PS4 and Xbox One, had decent reviews. But since then, most of them have been in the 60s or low 70s. And the racing genre has gotten a lot more crowded over the last 10 years, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can kind of reinvigorate this series. Next, we have more information come out about PlayStation Stars, which is their rewards program. This came out earlier in the week. And according to blog.playstation.com, the service is already available in Japan and will be available in North America October 5th. So in case you didn't know already, I'll go over some of the announcements here as well as things we already knew. First of all, this is going to be a free service for anyone to join. And they'll have different campaigns where you can earn points for playing certain games or earning specific trophies or to be among the first to platinum a blockbuster title in your region. Now there are two types of rewards. You get loyalty points and digital collectibles, and the loyalty points can be used for PSN wallet funds, exclusive digital collectibles, and select PlayStation Store products. And the digital collectibles, which are definitely not NFTs, they want to make sure we know they are definitely not NFTs. And these include figurines of characters and devices. I'm thinking like maybe a slim PS3, and there will be some of these that will be ultra rare. And you'll be able to put them in a digital display case that others can see if you choose to allow them. And you'll be able to track and manage all of this using the PlayStation app on your mobile device. Now, since this service launched in Asia a couple of days ago, we have some interesting kind of backlash out of that. And this is coming to us from automationmedia.com, and this is via Google Translate, so I apologize if it's a little bit rough. PlayStation Star's bonus program for PS4, PS5 started in Japan, earn points, and level up to prioritize customer support. So as you earn more rewards, you'll also get 4 different levels that you will be at, so you kind of work your way up levels. And this article here says, another feature of PlayStation Stars is that the status level changes according to activity. Participants start at level 1. Purchasing the full game on the PlayStation Store and obtaining a trophy with a higher rarity than normal will promote you to level 2. After that, the level will increase by purchasing the full game and acquiring difficult trophies. Interestingly is the level 4 perk. In addition to getting various digital items, when contacting PlayStation customer support, the chat order will be prioritized. People are given higher priority when responding to inquiries. So this sounds like if you've made it up to level 4, you might just get to skip the queue in the chat line. And it's kind of got some backlash as most people think that customer support should just be good across the board. Now we don't know if this same perk will be available to Western users once this service goes live in their respective regions. But what do you think about this idea? Do you think you should get to kind of fast pass your way past the queue line and get better technical support because you're a higher tier on the rewards program? And next, we have a game that's been out for a while that's finally getting a physical edition. We have the announcement here from Studio MDHR. On Cuphead's 5th anniversary, we're overjoyed to say the game is coming soon to retail stores everywhere. It will be available for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch, including the Delicious Last Course, which is the DLC. And then they have a sign up below where you can get information when it's available. And we don't have a release date yet for this physical edition, but I know this is something a lot of people have been asking for. And I'm guessing they probably waited to have this DLC finished in order to have it included in this physical edition. There's also no word as to whether there might be a special edition of the physical edition, but if you were looking for a physical version of Cuphead to add to your physical collection, I guess it's better late than never. And next we have the Xbox Games with Gold announced for October. As you can see here, we have just 2 Xbox One games, so we didn't get any new games added to replace the loss of the 360 games. But first we have Windbound, and that's available October 1st through the 31st, and this had a 65 Metacritic score, and this is sort of an action-adventure survival game. And then we have Bomber Crew Deluxe Edition, and this will be from October 16th to November 15th, and it had a Metacritic score of 74, and this is listed as a simulation strategy fight real-time general combat game. So while no blockbusters here, you might as well go ahead and add them into your library while they're available. Next, it looks like Sega is finally getting into NFTs. We have an announcement here from 4gamer.net. Double Jump Tokyo announced today it will develop a blockchain game with the theme of Sangokoshi, under the license of Sangokoshi Taisen from Sega. No release date or platform has been announced. They give you a little more information of what this game is. Sangokoshi Taisen is a competitive card action game for arcades operated by Sega. In the newly produced game, you can enjoy the artwork using the IP of Sangokoshi Taisen. In this blockchain game development, we aim to provide a comfortable gameplay experience by adopting the Japanese blockchain project Oasis. Now again, we have no date or platform announced here, and I'm not familiar with this game. It seems like it's maybe a Japanese-only game, and I'm guessing this would be released on consoles instead of arcades as the previous versions of these games had been, because you would have to maybe log into an account in order to collect those rewards if you're on an arcade machine. So I guess we'll have to see how this works out. I'm not sure how receptive the Japanese audience will be to this kind of NFT. And on a sort of related gaming note, we have a headline here from VGC. The Shenmue Anime likely won't be renewed for a second season. Now, this was spotted by Cartoon Network News and Schedules, and this is not an official account from Cartoon Network, but you can see here they tweeted out, the following shows have been removed from Adult Swim's website, and in the list here you can see Shenmue the animation. And this actually prompted a response from the series producer. You can see this here. Sorry guys, this happened. You can still watch all of the anime on Crunchyroll, and it will still be available as digital downloads. And yes, it's looking like no Season 2 of Shenmue, even though sadly it did well enough that we were gearing up for Season 2, maybe one day. And the Shenmue anime seemed to be highly rated when it aired, so I'm not sure what the decision was for not going forward with Season 2. It might just be that it costs too much to produce, and if it costs more to produce, even though it's very popular, they may not be getting enough return on investment in it. But hey, we can always hope for Shenmue 4. And then finally, let's take a look at the latest Famitsu sales coming out of Japan. Over on the software sales, of course we see Splatoon 3 still in the top spot. Then we have Teiko no Tatsujin, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, for the Switch, and this is a new entry at the number 2 spot. And of course this is a rhythm game. And then we have Horizon Forbidden West coming in at number 3. And just keep that in mind when we talk about the hardware sales. But then we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 4, Minecraft at 5, Dragon Quest X, Rise of the 5 Tribes offline at 6, and then Nintendo Switch Sports at number 7, and another new entry at number 8, the Diofield Chronicles. And then we have number 9, Dragon Quest X, Rise of the 5 Tribes offline, this time the PlayStation 4 version. And then we finish the top 10 with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And let's just go ahead and flip over to the hardware sales. We have some interesting shakeups. Of course, the first 2 spots, the Switch OLED model by the original Switch, and then the PlayStation 5 coming in 3rd place with 26,000 sales. And I have to wonder if some of those sales were the Horizon bundle, and maybe that's why Horizon Forbidden West rose so much in the software sales. And next we have the Xbox Series S coming in the 4th place, actually beating out the Switch Lite. And then we have PlayStation 5 Digital Edition at number 6, and then finally the Xbox Series X in 7th. And the PlayStation 5 made a pretty big jump back in from last week, but the Xbox Series S is still continuing to sell a decent amount. And that's all we have for today. Did anything we cover catch your attention? Are you interested in a physical copy of Cuphead, especially considering it has the DLC included? And did you ever try Google Stadia? Did it seem like it was a pretty solid service, but just never really caught on? Drop a comment about those topics or anything else we covered today. I want to thank you for watching, have a great weekend, and be good.